something about Lent, something about putting your life on the line that was just ingrained in me. But when I became a Protestant, I just didn't know where that fit in. When I met Dr. Manley, and I saw a Protestant who believed in bleeding, suffering, and dying, it changed my life. My wife had one major criticism of me, and it was that I took a vow of poverty, that I wanted to give everything we had away. I wanted to suffer, take on the suffering of others. Somehow I felt that I was a conduit between their pain and God. But when I learned about the cross-style life, when I learned that there were people in the world who thought that bleeding and suffering and dying was more important than having it and having it abundantly, I was attracted to it. And so in this church that we call ecumenical or worldwide or wanting to reach the whole inhabited earth, I said, oh, if we could have blood that could flow, if we could be the ones who could suffer any consequence, any malady, if we could stand with Christ's source in us, if we would not be afraid of death, surely there would be ministry for us. Some of you have said that the office of bishop is one where I should make rules and rule over somebody. But when I heard Dr. Manley explain it to you today, something happened to me. I shouldn't want to make you preach, beg you to preach, ask you. It should be something in you that when that door opens, I can't help but show up. I was talking to my wife this morning. We were talking about the services that we were going to attend today. And she said, well, you know, I may not attend the 11 o'clock service, and, you know, because I'm going to be there at 3. and I didn't say anything. That's all right with me. That's her bleeding, suffering, and dying. And she said, well, are you going? I said, I'll be there at 8. She said, well, you don't have to, you know, I'll be there at 8. And said, well, when are you coming? I'll be there at 9. And said, well, I'm going to be there at 10 to see how long it is from 9 to 11. I just want to be there. And I don't know how you can understand it, but it's suffering to come in and hear a preacher who don't want to preach, who don't want to be here, who afraid. I said, I will suffer there so that he'll be there. I'll carry that cross for him until he can see the need to carry it himself.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, God.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Wow.
I have been so close to death that I could smell the stench of my own dying. I could see myself as dead because I was producing no fruit. Do you know that cells on your body die? Brain cells die. I mean, you're constantly in a state of dying. But that which keeps you living, that sources by God, brings on new cells. So I can smell the stench of my death. In my ministry, I can smell the stench of my death. I can see that I didn't have the drive. When you're filled with the very nature and essence of God who made everything, and not a thing that was made by God, when you are filled with it, how can you say no? If he calls and said, will you preach? You say, how long, how many, how will? Somebody told me, well, you know, I'm not going to Africa. You know, there's nothing in Africa for me. You know, the bathrooms there are not good. But the same God that made the U.S. made Africa. And it was by his grace that you are the son of a slave that was here. And that you are married not by your own doing, but by his mercy to be here. And if you were to say to me that, well, you know, I only preach, I only talk, I only minister in places are conducive to my comfort and well-being on my schedule and my timetable. If you only say that I have to count a minimum number to be there, then you've missed it.
Jesus. Yes.
And I'm not criticizing, I'm not complaining that you missed it. I'm moaning from within to say that you don't know the joy of the Lord.
Yes, God.
You don't know what it is to
Yes,
be in
God.
His presence. You don't know what it is to feel His breath on your face.
Yes, sir.
Bernard was here preaching this morning. Somebody didn't show up. And I came in just a little bit. Bernard was here at the podium holding on. I don't know that he had the sermon together. I don't know that he could sing the song. But I said, Bernard, I got it. He said, no, I got this. You cannot tear me away from the thing that I was called to do. He said, man, he didn't have to check with anybody. He didn't have to pray about it. He just saw an opening and he shot in it.
Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah. So I want you to know that the robe that we wear is one to mark our shame for all that we haven't done. The robe that we wear is so that everybody from everywhere can come and see the ones who will wash the feet. So we'll be first in line.
Jesus.
It's a foot washer's robe. We will be the ones that will be in the kitchen.
Yes, God.
There's a kitchen robe. We'll be the ones in the nursing home changing the bedpan. There's a bed changing robe. I want you to be with me on this. Now, in every one of those jobs, I don't know whether you noticed, they got on some kind of robe. You go in the nursing home, they got a special suit that they wear. You go in the kitchen, they got an apron that they wear. You go anywhere in the profession that the ones who are doing it and are doing it to their best will wear the uniform that signifies. Now, our society has changed. There's so many ways you can hide from your neighbor. You can be in church on Sunday, and you cannot be identified by your community. So you can come in your jeans on Sunday. When you go to lift a sticket after the service, they don't know where you've been. But there's a time when somebody could look at you and say, oh yeah, he's been to church and he's been serving God. Do you know when we got to the restaurant and we weren't identifying ourselves as children of God, don't you know we don't tip? Why? Because we are hiding. We don't want somebody to see who we really are and what our behavior is. Because when you wear the robe, when you wear the collar, and you walk in, the waitress got an expectation. She says, oh God, here's a tip coming now. When you walk into the hospital, somebody sees that said, oh, that's a man of God. Come in here and pray. Come in here and encourage. Come in here and serve. Stop what you're doing. I know whatever we have going is more important than you are to yourself. We want to be identified.
Ooh, Lord.
Somebody asked me, said, well, Reverend, where are all your ministers? You said you should have picked them better. You should have taken them through the gauntlet. You should have never ordained them so quick.
No idea.
Let me tell you, I do not have the power to see into your convictions.
Jesus.
You say, well, you have given people a license to be somewhere, to stand somewhere. No. I didn't give them a license to stand in your church. You have to give them permission to do that. But what I did do, I pulled back the raw, unbridled lust of their bodies. I pulled off the clothes that they were hiding under. And I said, come and stand in the holiness of God and allow Him to change you.
Jesus.
God, you are right.
Yes, Lord.
Some have made God a valet. They pray, they order, and they say, look what I have done. But that's not what we're about.
Amen.
That's not what our church is about. That's not what I have in my mind. And I want you to know that Dr. Manley taught me this 10 years ago. 10 years ago. He said, Red, don't worry about your ministry. And some of you have heard say, I don't have a ministry. So don't worry about your ministry. Because it will fail. Don't try to build it up. Don't worry about it. It will fail. If you have 600, 6,000, 6,000, it will fail. I looked at him like he was stupid. You don't know who I am. I'm the deuce. I do not fail. And when he showed me in the scriptures that Jesus himself failed, what kind of hope do I have in building a church? When he said that Jesus had a plan to reach the 3 major cities, and it failed. And I was, for years, conflicted by that. Does that mean I shouldn't have a plan? Does that mean I shouldn't have a church? Does that mean we shouldn't have an organization? Does that mean we should just throw in the towel? But then it said, be like Jesus.
Yes, God.
Jesus had a plan, so I got a plan. Even though I know the plan will fail. Somebody said, well, why do you want all these churches that have nobody in them? Let me explain it to you. Because the one that stands behind this desk should have the responsibility for raising souls, for communicating the gospel, for living a life where somebody can see something in you.
Yes.
And if they can't see it, they won't come. They won't come. You will fail. But isn't that something? In our faith, we will find his strength. In our weakness, he is no fool who will give up what he cannot keep. Cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in the robe. I'll walk in the title. And then, Doctor, everybody has asked me, how did I get to be bishop? They said, surely it wasn't qualification. Well, the church had a meeting one night, all 5 of us. I remember it clearly. My wife, my son, and my daughter, and I was there. And they sent me out into another room. And they said on the 3rd vote, I just got by 1 vote. I don't know who I had a problem with, whether it was my wife, my daughter, or my son. But I didn't get unanimity from them. But they said, well, what does it mean to be the bishop or a bishop? It just means that when I come through the door and there are 12 sets of dirty feet, that I need to wash them. They said, well, Red, do you want the church to grow? Not really. If I came through, it was 100 feet. I'd have to wash them. The man, do you want to be like Brooklyn? 10,000 feet. I'd have to wash them. But I've learned something over the course of these years. That God has a plan for my life. He has a path already laid out. And my job, if it is to be described that way, is just go with the flow. Be there. And so I try to stay open to what the Spirit is saying. Do I fail? Do I come short? I have an expression, I was full of myself on the Lord's day. And I have a tendency to be full of myself more times than not. But isn't it wonderful that to know that he is a patient God? Yes. That he is a loving God. Yes. And while you're full of yourself, he will cause the 3 6s to come and interrupt your life. Y'all don't know what 3 6s is? Yes. What a laxative. Change things in you. And you start all over. You empty yourself by bleeding, suffering, and dying. I know y'all ready to go. I apologize, but I just wanted to let you know what we're doing as a church.
Amen.
Now, we have one other small detail to work out.